how long do you need to recover after an Ironman is dependent on two things. Number one, how hard you run the marathon. And number two, how fit you were going into the race. The more fit you are, the faster you're going to recover. The less impact you do in the marathon, let's say you walk a lot in the marathon, the faster you're going to recover. So in my case, I ran a really good marathon and I pounded the pavement, but I did recover quite quickly. And I blame that as I went into the race really fit. So that's just another indicator that I did the proper training, I did the proper taper, everything worked out, and it all came down to where I was at race day. Now, for a first timer, I'd say err on the side of allowing your body more rest. And it doesn't mean time off. It just means don't try to go hard. Don't try to push any intensity, and just don't force it. Now, after my first Ironman in 1997, I forced training too much too soon. And about 6 weeks later, I got really sick, and I was sick with like some sort of chronic fatigue for like 6 months, maybe even longer, where I couldn't work out until like a year later. I was that sick. I had a lot of issues, and I just didn't recover. And so I know how important it is to recover, and it's mostly a mental thing. You need to go for walks, go for easy swims, go for some swims, keep them easy and keep them short, and just assess your body and mind every day. And you kind of know when you're ready to kind of get into a routine. And being this time of year, it's out of season for most athletes at least in North America, where there's no rush. It's allow yourself. The best time to take time off is after your A race. It's just the best time to at least take time completely off, and don't get back to the training plan you were on before your race. Just ease into it very lightly, because there's no rush. Recovery is part of the training process. And I think one mistake athletes make, due to my experience that I've done, and then just as a coach, is athletes don't know how to recover.
Type A personalities. That's why we do this frickin' race in the first place.
Right.
Because we want this huge challenge, adventure, and then after we've built this up and we've done the event, there's a huge cliff. There's a huge letdown of now what? Plus, after you've had that race, you know what it takes to get there. So taking time off, whether it be a month, you're going, wow, and the self-pressure of like, I'm losing all this fitness. In a way, you've lost the fitness, but you've already gained this experience and this base. Mm-hmm. It's so hard to be patient as a long-distance triathlete, because you know the road it took to get there, and then oh my gosh, it's a long road to get back to where I was if I don't continue training. But you need that recovery.
Right. And that was my mentality in 1997. I was 24 years old. I didn't have a coach. There was nothing to tell me how to recover. I was the fittest I've ever been in my life. I didn't want to lose it. Yeah. But look at me now. I'm still the fittest I've ever been in my life 30 years later, at least 30 years later since I started, 25 years later since my first Ironman. Mm-hmm. So, just listen to my advice and just have fun and go be active, a couple, at least 2 weeks, at least take 2 weeks to just not even think about starting back up again. And then after 2 weeks, kind of assess where you are, because it's really important to know immediately after an Ironman, you're on an emotional high, whether you did well or not. And those feelings will change. You're going to be on an emotional roller coaster mentally and physically. You're going to have some residual fatigue. You may hit you 3 or 4 days later how exhausted you are from your race. And then emotionally, I want to do another one. I don't want to do one. I want to do one. I don't want to do one. And so just be very clear on your why and give yourself time, because it is a lifestyle. You don't need to, it's not one and done. You don't need to decide right away if you want to do another one or not. Just let your body and mind, give yourself time and let it dictate when you want to do another one.
A triathlete's lifestyle is a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.